If it's Monday, it's time to break out those flip-flops as we head southbound to Florida for the Phillips Wraps and Graphics Late Model Tour presented by Slingshot Racing League. I am Johnny Rapp, and I am joined in the Slingshot TV booth tonight by Justin Wilson and James Moore. Tonight we head to New Smyrna Speedway for the fifth race of the season, the Undercut and Overheard 110. Just 12 miles south of Daytona International Speedway, New Smyrna Speedway opened in 1967 as a dirt track, but lasted just 6 months before being paved to become the legendary track we all know and love today. Still owned and operated by the Hart family, the Speedway has a storied history in the stock car and modified racing world. New Smyrna's biggest event of the year, the World Series of Asphalt, is a 9-day-long showdown of speed, including late models, modifieds, and a host of other grassroots racing series to kick off the biggest week in motorsports. Legendary drivers such as Richie Evans and Ted Christopher have etched their names as some of the most dominant in the World Series, as well as local icon David Rogers, who claimed victory in the Florida Governor's Cup many times. Many of NASCAR's biggest stars have also won at the Speedway, including Ryan Newman, Tony Stewart, and Ty Majeski. 110 laps are on the board tonight as we hit the halfway mark of the season. Tonight is the night to start your charge for the championship. With only one extra set of tires and no faster pairs, drivers will need to use patience and precision and maybe a little bit of luck to bring home that checkered flag. Before we fire the engines for the heats, it's time to step trackside for the playing of the national anthem.
Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to New Smyrna Speedway in New Smyrna Beach, Florida for the U&O 110, brought to you by the Undercut and Overheard podcast. Great day of racing ahead of us, but before we jump into all that, we're going to start off first with Johnny Rapp. He's got our point standings.
Yeah, after race 4 last week, man, these are not right. These are not updated, but I believe Kyle Terzac did take the lead with the drop week, so let me see if I can get this updated. We might come back to this, but I think we're going to move into our pre-race stories before we get into heat race number 1 here. So Justin, bring us through our stories.
Oh yeah, man, without a doubt. While we get the points kind of figured out, but track position at this track, and most like every week in and week out, means everything, especially here, considering that's kind of a one lane one-lane groove. With that being said, right, these restarts are going to be the real opportunities, provided we have any, to make those passes, make that move on the outside. The tires are a little bit cooled off. But the biggest thing, when the run does get on and we get in that single file, mistakes will kind of be the only option to my favorite thing, opening that door. Well, somebody's going to get a little bit of a bobble, and you got to capitalize on it as soon as possible. And it may take a few laps to make that pass because that outside line will get that run. But on top of all of that, right, the mental pressure and the fatigue of just lap after lap for this 100-lap race, I mean, you're just you have to hit your marks, because as soon as you make a mistake or a little bit of a bobble, you'll get stuck in that outside line and may fall all the way to the back.
Yeah, it's a tough track to get around for these guys. 110 laps tonight on the cards, by the way. It's sure to be a track that's tough to pass at, but I mean, we've seen these guys put these cars in spots where they absolutely do not belong and make it stick, so it's going to be fun to watch either way.
Well, I'm not sure if we're able to get the points back. I know Johnny is working on that, but one thing too with this track, I mean, you can make that outside line work pretty early with the tires kind of when they're cooled off, because I know a little bit difference between the super late models and these late model stocks. I mean, because we did a lot of super late model running here, but there's different lines that you can take. Some people would like to wrap that yellow line, but others like to take that diamond approach. So they'll kind of send it in a little bit, let it wash up the track just a little bit, and then bring it right back down and just power off. So be curious to see, especially with the setups tonight. I've been hearing these drivers are fighting some tight conditions tonight. So we'll have to see how they play it out.
And you know, these guys here at SRL, if you do try to take that diamond line, these guys, if you leave that bottom open, they're going to go for it. And I think that's going to lead to at least a little bit of side-by-side action just on people trying to send it in there, as we are finished with qualifying, gridding up for the heat race here. Johnny, able to get points going, or are we just going to roll on without?
Yeah, and the race here. But yeah, we got to get this grid here. It looks like we only have a handful of cars making the heat. Everybody's going to make the feature. But yeah, we're going to go through this. I think we may have already missed the... yeah. We already missed the grid, but you'll be able to see it on the left-hand side. Once we get going, it's going to be Ryan Hinkle, Jack DeBruin, and Patrick O'Toole. And yeah, 3-car race. It's going to be 10 laps, and we're going to see who gets the best starting position out of these three.
Yeah, it's really just going to be a little appetizer to get your palates wet, get you prepped for what's to come. Short little 3-car, 10-lap dash here to see where these guys shake out. I have to imagine that this is not going to be the most enthralling race, but I hope, for our sake, that they give us a little bit to talk about. I'm sure we're going to learn a lot about what that restart is like from that top line. But other than that, I think this is just going to be some good chances for these guys to get a little bit more track time.
Well, while two of our 3 drivers are up to the grid, I just want to thank everybody for joining in. Keep the chat busy. We got Jacob Phillips rooting on James Danforth. Everyone's excited about New Smyrna tonight. Got a couple of Garrett Lane fans in the chat. But one of the things we are doing tonight, as we do week in and week out, is we're giving out that free pack of trading cards. Be active. Tell us who your favorite driver is. Honestly, tell us how big of a crash you think we'll have tonight. I mean, anything.
Yeah, any engagement's good engagement. That's what they say. I don't know about you guys, but I'm really pulling for Benson Weaver in the #1 car tonight. I think he's going to have a good shot at a good run tonight.
You know, I'm not surprised, by no means.
I don't know why you'd say that with that tone, Justin. But anyway, cars are getting ready to roll off on the grid here. Like we said, 3 cars for your heat race tonight. Ryan Hinkle, Jack DeBruin, and Patrick O'Toole. It's going to be Hinkle inside front row. On his outside, Jack DeBruin in 62 machine. And then Patrick O'Toole bringing up the rear if he decides to come on out. I think we might have a 2-car race here for the moment, guys. Oh, by God. They're 2 good-looking race cars, so let's see where we end up. 1 more lap of pacing. This is strange. Have you guys ever seen a race where you got 2 cars rolling off to go head-to-head? It reminds me of like a local short track where they just take people's cars out of the parking lots and let them run around for a lap against each other. That's kind of what this feels like. That's the vibe I'm getting.
I'll tell you what,
individuals have a big advantage.
Yeah, Justin was hitting exactly what I was going to say. They're going to have more laps and really get to feel how this track is under race conditions better than everybody else that's sitting here waiting. So.
Well, I think the one good thing is if there's an accident here, we know who to blame. It's a 50-50. And look at the jump Ryan Hinkle gets. Jack DeBruin doesn't even try to hold him off on the outside. I think these guys, look at this. I think we're just going to settle in for 10 quick laps here. See where we end up. Not quite sure why Patrick O'Toole didn't make the grid. We'll have to find that out in between sessions, but remains to be seen. So, I mean, Justin, really unique situation here. Not what we're used to. What are you doing if you're in either one of these driver's seats? Are you going for this spot, or do you just run out your 10 laps, make sure you bring the car home clean?
No, this is a good opportunity to kind of just another little practice session. See what the car can do, because these are the conditions you're most likely going to be in once the race starts. But Johnny, let's head on board of Ryan Hinkle. Take a couple laps around here. See what it looks like from the driver's seat, because you can tell here these cars are definitely finding a little bit of a tight condition here. But the main thing is just kind of wrapping that bottom right there towards that yellow line. But in turn 1 and 2, you can run a little bit higher here, just with the kind of the way the banking is. And there's a kind of really faded stripe around the corner there, and you can run up there and actually be faster than you would be running the very bottom.
We're going to see it on board here with Jack DeBruin too, to see the difference in the lines, and it's now Ryan is able to kind of pull away just ever so slightly. We see a little bit of a higher entry, and definitely able to cut down into the corner and get that drive off a little bit better.
Yeah, consistently about 10th and a half faster for Ryan Hinkle. I mean, these guys are just doing what they got to do right now. Get the laps, learn the track a little bit, see if the track's changed at all since the last time you ran in practice. That's valuable stuff to take into the feature tonight, you know? That's not nothing for these guys. I'm sure that they'll appreciate the little bit of time that they got here to figure this all out. Points aren't paid out for this, obviously, but experience is experience, laps are laps.
Coming to 3 laps to go in the heat. Ryan Hinkle with a sturdy lead over Jack DeBruin here. Both cars keeping it clean. We see a little bit of damage to the right front of Jack's car, but yeah, definitely some valuable experience here getting ready for this feature race. And man, I'll tell you, while we got the spotlight on him, this number 21 car, we talk about it week in and week out. Man, what a beautiful machine. All these Mountain Dew cars that he always comes out with. Man, great work by his painter.
It's Ryan Hinkle there. It's going to start the white flag lap, 1 lap to go. Working his way through 1 and 2. It's just been a walk in the park, honestly. Nice, simple, no contest. Just running it out, seeing what he can do, making a little bit of time, getting a little more lappage. And Ryan Hinkle is going to bring it home to win your heat race tonight with Jack DeBruin in second. Johnny, what are we looking at next?
Yeah, so now it's going to be the time when we have our 5-minute warm-up session. We do have the points, but it's in an unconventional way. We're going to look at our Sim Racer Hub point standings here, moving into this race number 5. Oh, maybe I thought give me just a second. I will figure this out here, but
we're gonna set there.
Yeah, okay, yeah, so we're good. All right, here we go. Our point standings after race number 4 last week. Like I said, Kyle Terzac was able to scoot up into the lead after that first race where he was mired in the back, ended up having to disconnect. But yeah, the drop week played in his favor. It's going to be up front here, just ahead of Braxton DeWise in that The number, is he the 8? 15?
I think it's the 8. Yeah, John. He's
Man,
the 8.
I'm sorry, I'm all over the place. I'm trying to scramble to get these things going, but yeah, Braxton DeWise, the other big contender, Chris French, with a load of top 5 finishes here this season, holding steady in 3rd place.
Yeah, Chris French has really been the driver to watch for me. I mean, just the way that he is consistently finding a way to stay with these guys, even when they're clearly a little bit better on pace. He's just sticking right with them. You know, he's not really... They're not comfortable, is I think the best way to put it. Terzac, DeWise, either one of them has an issue at one of these races, and Chris French can be right on top of him. Chris French can fry the field if he needs to. Got about 3 minutes left in our warm-up here. Not, a pretty different track for these guys, honestly. Much larger than what we usually look at. Our drivers pretty typically run on these 3/4, or sorry, not even 3/4. It's 2/3 mile, half mile. I mean, this is a very unique track for these guys. We're quarter miles a lot of the time. These guys are not used to a track that is so bottom heavy. I mean, last week we talked about how bottom heavy IRP was, but this is just a whole different level of bottom feeding that you have to do to make time around here. It's going to be a very tough track to pass at, but I think some of these guys are going to do good, put on a show for us. What do you guys think?
No, I'm right there in line with you, but one thing about this track being bottom tough is the top line can actually hold off the bottom as well, because they can just wrap a little bit better. They can keep that car on the bottom just really, really tight to the bottom, and they can capitalize on the exit speed. So cars can get side by side here, and they could easily run 5 to 10 laps side by side here. So if you're going to make that pass, you got to make it quick, or you're just going to lose a lot of time.
Now, what kind of damage is that going to do to your tires, though, if you stick it on the outside for 5-10 laps trying to make a pass happen?
Honestly, it won't be as bad as you think. I mean, you can still take it easy on the top, pinch the guy on the bottom, and just get the run off the corner. I mean, tire wear is probably going to be the same whether you're on the bottom or the top. I mean, we've seen week in and week out, right? The tire strategy is going to play a game in this. Whether who's going to take 2, who's going to take 4. I think at the end of the day, I think you could probably run all 110 laps on the left set of tires.
Well, that's something to keep our eyes on tonight. Watch, see who takes tires when. Really, really interesting and qualifying. You know, we have the top 6 invert, but before the top 6 invert, your fastest driver, Braxton DeWise, no surprise there. Kyle Terzac down in 4th, and Aiden Neese with the 2nd fastest time in qualifying. We'll need to keep our eyes on him tonight, I think. Chris French is going to be starting on the pole tonight. That's going to be super fun to watch as well. Throwing it to Johnny really quick, let's talk about what we got coming up here these next few weeks.
Yeah, you can see it right there. The next 4 races on this schedule, we're going to Langley Speedway. Nice short little track. That's going to be a chaotic one if I had to guess. Then 5 Flags down in Florida once again. We're going up north to Stafford on the 2nd of March. That's going to be an exciting show. And then USA Speedway. And I believe that's going to be race number 9, so there's only one more after that. We're getting right down to the meat of the season here. It's going to be a lot of fun to watch.
Yeah, it certainly is. As we've got the warm-up wrapping up here right now, I think that means, Johnny, is it about time to run through our starting grid here in a moment?
Absolutely. It should be popping up in just a moment as our warm-up has commenced.
All right, welcome to race number 5 this season. Go in the rolls real quick.
Just give it a second. This one does it automatically, right? So this isn't my fault. Run us through our top qualifiers, starting out with...
Should have stayed in your lanes on the start and the restart your fast line.
Yeah, Chris French with that invert. And Garrett Lane's going to be starting 2nd place after his podium finish last week. We have Kyle Terzac 3 in a row, looking to make it 4 in a row here tonight with Devin Jack and at number 49 on his outside.
Aiden Neese is going to bring it home, or not bring it home. He might be okay with bringing it home 5th, but he's going to start 5th tonight in the number 45 machine, trying to look for a clean race tonight, followed by Braxton DeWise. Robert Brobes and Martin Piccatelli in row 4. Robert in his gorgeous number 5 car. Not the one we see there. Not sure why that graphic hasn't updated, but whatever. Row 5 is going to be Dylan Potts and Mason Wilson. And then here comes my pick for the night. In row 6, inside, in the Undercut and Overheard podcast machine, Benson Weaver looking to put on a great show tonight with James Gamble 88 on his outside.
Rounding out the rest of the field tonight, we have Randy. Go ahead. Sorry, I was unmuted. I had muted myself. But Randy Gross is going to be starting 13th with Brian Brobes on his outside in 14th. Heat race winner Ryan Hinkle will be starting 15th with Jack DeBruin in 16th. And Patrick O'Toole will be rounding off the tail end of the field tonight in that number 44 wheeling Camry. There we go. I was about to say Chevrolet. But
They all start with C. They all start with C. It's the same thing. Good job. We're proud of you. Well, grid has been set. The drivers know what they're doing. Ready to put on a great show for us. We're making our way down the backstretch behind the pace car for hopefully the final time. I'd love to see this thing run green to the end. Chris French, your pole sitter's going to be taking the green flag, taking us into turn 1 the first time. Garrett Lane on his outside. Pace car's off, and we are green from New Smyrna Raceway. Good little start there from Chris French as he's clear going into turn 1. Garrett Lane's going to try to stick it on the outside of Kyle Terzac. And one thing we've learned, Kyle Terzac does not take his time. He's going to have his eyes set on Chris French soon and try and get up there. Aiden Neese working to the inside now of Garrett Lane, looking for another clean run tonight. It's been eluding him this season so far, but we all know he's got it in him. Just needs to have the pieces fall into place, as they would say.
Battle for the lead is on. Here we go. Already, Kyle Terzac making a move to the inside of Chris French. Looks like he's going to be able to power down the backstretch. French with that momentum on the outside, able to fight back a little bit, but it looks like the 15 of Kyle Terzac is going to claim the lead.
Yeah, but keep your eyes on Aiden Neese. Like I said, he was fast in qualifying. He might have something for Kyle Terzac today. And where's Braxton DeWise? He's still mired back in traffic back there. But look at this side-by-side battle we have for second now between Aiden Neese and Chris French. Aiden's going to try to follow through. He's going to clear him into turn 1. Going down the backstretch now, single file the first few rows. First battle on track is going to be Braxton DeWise and Garrett Lane back there battling for the 6th position. As Braxton DeWise works the bottom, trying to get clear. Not quite there yet. They've been side by side about 2.5 laps now. DeWise hard on the bottom, trying to get there, just trying to get that nose clear a little bit to try to get up in front, but not quite able to yet. Garrett Lane putting up a heck of a fight here on the outside as Braxton DeWise finally gets it done out of turn 4. Working lap number 5.
Yeah, you can see on the top right of the screen here, we got Robert Brobes, as always so far this week, or this series, wearing our heart rate monitor tonight, and you can already see he's sitting pretty comfortably at a 113, but he's battling Braxton DeWise right now.
Yeah, heck of a battle right here we've got between DeWise and Robert Brobes. Robert Brobes, he's charging too. Both of those guys up one spot. The biggest loser so far tonight has been Garrett Lane. He's downside now by Dylan Potts. Once again, this is a little strange how far Garrett Lane's dropping. You got to wonder if he's just not comfortable in that car. Maybe he's sinking long run, trying to hold on to the tires. But interesting nonetheless, as we've got a battle for the lead starting to heat up here. Aiden Neese is not letting Kyle Terzac skirt away to that lead that he's so accustomed to here in SRL. Very fun to watch so far. Last lap, give the advantage to Neese just a little bit. We'll see when they come across timing and scoring here. Terzac took it back that time. About a 100th of a second faster. I mean, there is just no difference between these guys. The whole top 3 running pretty much identical lap times here tonight.
Yeah, Neese keeps showing that nose down the straightaway. Makes you think that eventually he's going to make that move. Maybe getting a little impatient behind the number 15 of Kyle Terzac. That number 45 is on rails here tonight.
Yeah, it's always fun to watch these guys, especially a guy like Aiden Neese, who, you know, we up here have been a little critical in the past of Aiden Neese. He's got a tendency to, I don't know what the right way to put it is, lose his cool, but look at him now to the inside of Kyle Terzac. He's going to try to get this move done here. Terzac's strong around the top. Terzac's holding on strong as we have a bit of a moment back there. Braxton DeWise drops a couple spots. That was close. Not sure what happened there, but battle for the lead back on.
Braxton DeWise and Devin Jack had a little bit of a tangle up there, and Braxton ended up losing a couple spots. He had to lift. He tagged Devin Jack there in the left rear a little bit and got him squirrely.
Yeah, single file mostly through the field right now, but this battle for the lead is not going anywhere. I think Aiden Neese is going to run out of patience here, and if you're Kyle Terzac, you know the reputation Aiden Neese has. We all know he's one of the most aggressive drivers in the field. He'll make that move when no one else will. At what point do you think maybe, I'm going to let you go for a little bit, I'll get you back later, because I don't know if I'd want to have Aiden Neese behind me this aggressive right now. But as I say that, he's clobbered the outside wall off of both corners so far, so gotta wonder how hard he's pushing that car.
Yeah, one thing too, you've seen Aiden Neese's speed. He's got very, very fast short run speed, but tends to fall off on those later parts of the run. So I think Aiden's trying to take advantage of that, because just how difficult it is to pass here. If he can get by him, it'll be difficult for Kyle to pass him.
Yeah, looking at this rearview mirror, look at this battle we've got right now between Devin Jack and Chris French for the third position. Devin Jack got to the inside there. About time. He's been working on that for a few laps now. He's trying to make this move into turn one. Look at him run the bottom. They're running about half a lane up for the most part. Devin Jack can't quite clear that run that you get off the outside there for Chris French. That is just so hard to contend with for these guys. That's going to be the story all night, is who can hold fast on the outside, try to make it last, see if you can get yourself back clear. But I think it's going to be a losing battle for Chris French right now. I'm sure one of these times that Devin Jack is just going to get the run just right enough to get clear off the corner, and he's going to close that door.
Battles all over the track, but right now the hottest battle is going to be this battle for third place. Devin Jack looks like he's maybe able to finally clear Chris French and move up, take that position. That's going to open the door for Braxton DeWise and that number 8 to get back up here into the top 5 and move it up to 4 if he's got his sights set for Devin Jack, but the battle for the lead is on once again.
Yeah, look at Aiden Neese. He just keeps getting able to get to that inside, but that run off the top that Terzac's getting is just too much for him to hold off. I mean, it's just not quite enough, you know? Aiden's trying every tool that he's got. He's trying every trick he can think of, but Terzac just running that extra half lane up just makes it so hard to complete a pass. This is going to be a story to follow all night, because you got to wonder, does Kyle Terzac have anything else in the tank? Is he taking his time right now? I feel like he's giving it all he's got to keep Aiden Neese behind him right now. What do you think, Justin?
I do not think that at all. I think Kyle is managing his tires. He knows this is a long race, and he knows how Aiden Neese's kind of long run is, so he's not letting Aiden get to him. Don't get me wrong. He's definitely watching that mirror, but you know, Kyle's managing the field right now.
Oh, as Aiden Neese gets into the left rear corner there of Kyle Terzac. That's what we need to keep our eyes on, guys. Aiden Neese, very aggressive. Kyle on the radio talking about how aggressive he's being. We'll have to see how this shakes out. Side by side, and he's going to give it to him in turn 1. Aiden Neese to the lead. Strong move for the 45 as Terzac crosses him over down the backstretch heading towards turn 3. Terzac on the bottom, Neese on the top this time. Let's see how this shakes out here. Neese not quite able to get the same run off the corner that the 45 has been, or that the 15 has been getting. Fantastic battle we've got through turns 1 and 2. Neither one of these guys wants to give up. Terzac's got the championship to think about. Aiden Neese has a reputation to think about. This is a guy fighting to rebuild his image here tonight, who has talked about how he wants to show these guys that he is just as much of a threat as anybody else, and he's not the guy that's going to clean you out. And so far, he's shown it. This has been a fantastic battle.
Yeah, you just got to see how they have to lean on each other to make these passes here. Both Kyle had to do the same thing, kind of pushed Aiden Neese up into the wall a little bit, but Kyle makes his way back, and I don't know, man. I think Aiden Neese's tires are probably going to be screaming at him, but I think he's still going to push as hard as he can.
And that's just the MO for Aiden Neese. He's one of those guys who's going to give 100% every lap. He has 2 modes. Aiden Neese is either on or Aiden Neese is off. There is nothing in between. And that's what makes him so fun to watch, and it makes him a thorn in the side of his fellow competitors. But for now, Kyle Terzac's back through the lead. Not a lot going on throughout the field. Mostly single file, as we can see. Field's just kind of logging laps right now. It's a long race, 110 laps. We're working lap 29 right now. Long way to go ahead of us. And if we run green, those tires are going to be hurting by the end of it. So you got to think about that. You got to try to take care of them when you can.
I think there's one person that wants to battle or wants to see this battle for the lead more than Aiden Neese, and that is the guy in third place, Braxton DeWise. Finally made his way up to third, but I mean, he wants these two to get it. He wants these two to tangle. Oh, Aiden Neese just nails the wall there, but you know, Braxton wants to see these two tangle up so he can kind of catch back up without having to overcook his own stuff.
Look at that line Braxton DeWise took through turn 1 there. He entered high. He entered really high and kind of diamonded the corner there like we were talking about in our stories before the race. Super interesting to watch all these guys as Devin Jack tags the wall a little bit there too. These guys are doing that a lot. They're just getting very aggressive, trying to get back to the throttle early. We know the cars are tight, and they are... Oh, his caution is out on the racetrack. Not sure what for. We'll find a replay for you there. Oh, it looks like it might be Ryan Hinkle involved. We'll get you a replay, and we'll have Johnny Rapp break that down for us here for you. Martin Piccatelli on the radio saying it might have been his fault there with the 30 or with the 21. Says that he came up. Oh, yeah.
Ooh, my. Yeah, we're gonna have to go back and get a another look at that. Not really.
Oh, and it's still going down the front stretch. Yeah. Oh my gosh, these guys were wrecking for a lap.
Really having a tough time. They were able to keep it out of the inside wall, but yeah, we're gonna go back one more time here and see if we can't find the root of this caution. Looks like Haeckel on the outside gets kind of pinched a little bit. He came off the wall a little bit too, and yeah, a little bit of contact there puts him in the wall. The number 7 of Mason Wilson. Crazy evasive action all the way to the inside wall. I think he did tag it a little bit, but
what happened on the front stretch with him? Let's see. That's what I'm curious about. Oh, the 21 was still wrecking off the corner. Caution had been out at that point. The 7 just keeps on digging, trying to catch up to the field, I guess, and just didn't see the 21 out there, maybe? It's a weird one right there.
The caution came out because of that last bit, but yeah.
Really?
Ryan Hinkle got put up into the marbles up there, got the car sideways, you know, kind of hit the brakes to, you know, keep the car straight, but yeah, then, you know, Mason Wilson, man, what a good job on that back straightaway, keeping out, kind of tagged the inside wall there a little bit, but you can see here, once they kind of gather it all back up, he's up there, he's loose, and he hits the brakes to try to save the car, but ain't nothing you can do.
Yeah, it's just one of those moments that happens at a track like this. We are double filing up this time. I think Field's getting one to go this time by. Should be at least. We've got did Aiden Neese pit for tires? He must have.
He pit, but I don't think he pitted for tires. I didn't see tires go on that number 45 machine, so.
Just having the crew pull those body panels out probably. He was in the wall quite a few times. I'm sure that car was not feeling great. Gonna be fun to watch here on the restart. Story of the year, Kyle Terzac, Braxton DeWise. Kyle Terzac takes the top, pace cars off, field in the hands of Kyle Terzac, who goes pretty much right in the middle of the box. It's going to be easily clear of Braxton DeWise by the time we get to turn 1. It's going to be side-by-side for third, maybe? Yeah, Braxton DeWise gets clear. Devin Jack, Chris French side-by-side for the third position. Chris French on the top. Devin Jack on the bottom. Chris French is going to fly into turn 3, trying to get clear. Not quite going to be able to do it. Devin Jack runs him up the track just a little bit. Side-by-side down the front stretch. Give it to Chris French that lap. Look at the hornet's nest behind these guys as Devin Jack looks like he might get the move done here with a good drive off the corner. Yeah, Devin Jack's going to get that done there. The battle is going on behind these guys. Battle for, looks like, 7th position. Best looking car on the racetrack, the number 1 Benson Weaver machine. Sponsored by Undercut and Overheard Podcast. Great battle we've got going on back here. These guys have been all over each other. We talked about the 0-8 earlier falling back. But, trying to recover, trying to make his way forward again. He started 2nd tonight. Benson Weaver started 11th, I believe. Currently running in the 7th position. Obviously benefited from Aiden Neese coming down pit road. But that's the way it goes in racing sometimes. These guys are starting to single file out now. Looks like we got a battle going on behind there. Yep, look at Aiden Neese working his way through the field. Randy Gross runs him up the track a little bit. Randy's probably not going to like that, but I think Aiden Neese is saying, look, I've got pace. I need to get moving tonight, guys. I'm going only running that line about 3/4 of the way up the track. That's very interesting. We don't see a lot of guys running up that high.
James Danforth with a little bit of a move on Garrett Lane here for the 8th position. Garrett's going to give him plenty of room here, but yeah, 88 not able to make it happen just yet. Definitely looking at that 08 after a strong starting position. He fell back a little bit, but he's holding strong in the top 10 still. See if he's able to claw his way back up here and be a contender for this win here by the end of this thing.
He had really good pace in qualifying. Very curious. The car just wasn't quite right on the fire off there. Maybe he got stuck on the top there and just couldn't find a hole, but very strange to see either way. As Braxton DeWise trying to close in on our leader here. They're putting down pretty similar lap times. Really fun battle to watch between these guys all season so far. The Terzac's definitely had the pace advantage most weeks, but Braxton DeWise has kept it a little more clean. We saw that in the season opener. That Terzac was the one involved in the incident there, and DeWise has been able to capitalize on that. Little bit of bad luck with a poorly timed yellow second race of the season, but I mean, these guys have been very, very close every race so far this year. It's going to continue to be a really good battle to watch, for us at least. I'm sure Braxton is going to be very frustrated.
One thing I'm noticing as we ride on board with Braxton, you really see the 15 of Terzac just really getting after it right now. We see that car all over the place, tagging the wall. He's trying to make as much time as he can right now, seeing his closest contender in his mirror.
Yeah, these guys, I mean, it seems like they're kind of trading lap times here. One lap Braxton's a little bit faster, one lap Kyle's a little bit faster, but we've got close battles all throughout this field. A lot of people right on top of each other. Dylan Potts is pretty close to Chris French back there. Is that what I'm seeing, I think? Let's see if we can find something. Yeah, look at this. 3 cars, throw a blanket over them. We've got Chris French, Dylan Potts, Robert Brobes. These guys are right on top of each other. As Dylan Potts looking to see if he can find a way around Chris French. It's so tough to pass here, like Justin alluded to pre-race. But Potts showing the nose, thinking about sending it down to the bottom. Not quite able yet. But man, that run off the corner for Chris French is going to be good with that line. I think Dylan Potts might be a little faster right now and might want Chris French to let him have a little bit of room here, see if he can make something happen. But I think Chris French knows what's at stake. He's trying to hold on to 3rd place in the championship tonight.
Aiden East continues to work his way through the field, battling now with Garrett Lane in that number 08, able to get by him for that 8th place position, and he has his sights set on Benson Weaver in that number 1 machine. Man, I'll tell you what, took that pit stop, maybe got some damage fixed, but he's worked his way back up about halfway through the field so far. So, solid run here for Aiden East.
Yeah, chasing down the prettiest car in the field, the 1 car, Benson Weaver, who's also trying to chase down that battle for 6th place. But look at this side-by-side right here. We've got Brian Brobes and the 31 of Randy Gross side-by-side. This is for the 11th position. And then behind them, we've got Martin Piccatelli and Ryan Hinkle, also side-by-side. These.
Oh, we got a record turn 4.
Chris French, hard. Wow, that's going to be big for your championship. Oh, and they're still wrecking. Who was that just piled in there? Oh, my goodness. The 62 of Jax DeBruin just drives through the 21 car. The 11 and the 33 also spinning in the middle of the corner there. That big yellow flag usually means slow down, but these guys were also eager to keep it going. Something happened to Braxton DeWise as well. I don't know if you just heard that on the radio like I did, Justin, but something definitely happened to Braxton. We're going to have to figure that out, too.
Yeah, we're going to go back and look at what happened here. We see the 53 of Chris French, maybe the furthest car up that was involved here. Yeah, we can see some contact here. Racing for that 3rd spot with Dylan Potts. Yeah, it looks like Dylan maybe just sent it in a little too hard. Got up the track into the 53. and then just chaos ensues trying to avoid the parked car of Chris French.
Yeah, keep this replay going. Braxton DeWise was involved here nearly. He just about gets spun right here as Chris French. Look at, wow. Oh my gosh, that was close. And he tapped the 53 there with that front left corner of that car. That is a heck of a development there for Braxton DeWise. That's one more car he's going to have to pass to get through.
This driver's pitted. It looks like he is going to come out in the second position behind Terzac again, so it shouldn't be too bad. All these drivers taking their set of right sides, getting some new stickers on those right sides, so these guys are going to be good to go to the end of the race.
Well, good to hear. I'm very curious how these guys' tires all felt. That was just such a strange incident. You really got to feel for Chris French, a guy who's been so consistent.
Well, gentlemen, while we get all lined up before this yellow, let's see if you were paying attention at the beginning of the broadcast. I'm going to throw up the old trivia question. What year did New Smyrna's first open?
Man, couldn't tell you. I'm not a historian. I just talk. But get your answers in chat. We will be giving out a pack of trading cards at some point tonight, so keep your chat engagement up. We'll pick someone at random later as pace car is getting ready to pull off, leaving the field back in the hands of Kyle Terzac. Oh, keeps him waiting this time. Great jump there. It's Benson Weaver and Garrett Lane side by side for the third spot. First and second kind of skirting away. Benson Weaver nearly washing up into the door of Garrett Lane. Battling hard. I've heard that his contract for sponsorship offers a bonus for a podium finish, and he's fighting hard for it right now. On the bottom, move Benson Weaver up to third place. Great move as they're wrecking behind it. Dylan Potts sideways off of turn 4. Collects Brian Brobes. Few other cars involved. We'll have to get a replay, see what happened there, but we're still green. Wow. That is unfortunate for Dylan Potts. That car was sideways off the corner with Brian Brobes. Gonna have to see what happened there, but anyways, battles all over the track. Kyle Terzac skirting out a bit of a lead, about half a second, 7/10 back from Braxton DeWise to Benson Weaver. As they're all kind of piling up behind Benson now. We've got Devin Jack and Garrett Lane right there ready to pounce. All running pretty similar lap times still, but gonna be something to watch. Coming across the line that time, Devin Jack, one of the fastest cars on track, showing him second fastest at the moment. That guy's always quick, and he just finds a way to stay out of trouble and be there at the end of these races. It's very fun to watch for Devin Jack as he's trying to work over Benson Weaver right now for the final podium position.
Yeah, and no surprise, right? Kyle Terzac just put down the fastest lap of the session so far with an 18.333. Those fresh set of right side tires, man, are doing him some wonders.
Yeah, that's fun to watch. This is super interesting, this battle between these two. I mean, every race it is. It's so cool to watch. It's such a pleasure to watch these guys who are so evenly matched. It just seems like Kyle's always just got that last percent, over Braxton DeWise.
Thank you, Jim.
And then we've got further back, the field is still stacking up a little bit in a few places. Look at Aiden Neese here driving away from James Danforth, though. I think Aiden Neese, by the end of this, is going to make his way back up to the podium. I don't know about you guys, but he's got some pace tonight. If he can keep his nose clear and keep himself out of trouble, he's going to be the one to watch, I think.
Yeah, we'll be watching him all night long. Right now, back up to 7th place. Robert Brobes is the next car in his crosshairs. And right now, Robert is in a duel with Garrett Lane in that number 08. Battle his way back up into the top 5 here after that wreck. And right now, holding off Robert Brobes, we see a lot of damage to the right side of that number 5 machine.
Yeah, that's unfortunately been the story of Robert Brobes' season. He keeps getting into bad luck issues and tagging the wall off the corners as they get side by side here for the 5th position. Robert's looking to the bottom here. Not quite going to be able to make it happen yet. Definitely a little faster than Garrett Lane at the moment, but with that much damage, you have to wonder how that car is feeling.
We're back here watching how Chris French's car looks like it's handling okay considering everything that he's gone through these last few laps. It's been slowly making his way back up, but he has caught back up to Dylan Potts here. Kind of see how this plays out considering everything that happened not too long ago. But Brian Brobes is also back there behind Chris French. These guys are just slowly catching up to Dylan Potts, who's been slowly fading here since these incidents.
Yeah, that was still such a weird incident. You got to wonder what happened to Dylan Potts there. Unfortunately, with the amount of racing we got going on, we just don't have time to go back and take a look at it. So we've got this battle still side by side. Robert Brobes and Garrett Lane. Robert Brobes finally gets clear. The 08 there tags the corner. Aiden Neese is going to pounce now. Oh, back to the inside goes the 08 to Garrett Lane. Nearly sideways off the corner is Ryan Brobes. That's going to leave room for the 45 to get it to the outside of the 08 going into turn 3. 45 going to try to roll the top, see if he can get the power down early. As look at Robert Brobes sideways off the corner in front of him there. Very, very close for Robert Brobes. Nearly loses the rear end as the 45 moving up again into 6th.
And the battle for third place has been heating up. Devin Jack's been slowly reeling in. Benson Weaver here just got to his back bumper just the previous set of corners, but got a little bit squirrely. But Devin Jack showing a little bit more speed than that one machine.
Yeah, that 49 car, like I said, super consistent, super quick, very quiet. You don't hear a lot about him. He doesn't cause incidents. He doesn't often get involved in incidents. He's just a smart, heads-up race car driver. And right now he's looking to pass Benson Weaver. Still probably coming down off the high of his precious Seahawks winning last night, so I have to wonder if he's not 100% in it right now. Oh, I know I wouldn't be if I were in his shoes, but look at the run. Look at the 49 car wrap. The middle of the corner there, gets that great run down the straightaway. He's just trying to set Benson up here and trying to find the right opportunities. He's going to turn under him right here. Side by side, he's going to get to his inside down the backstretch. Nearly at his door going into turn 3, washes up the track a little bit, trying to run him up just a respectful amount. Side by side, the line, get the advantage to Devin Jack that lap. Devin's going to send it hard as Benson Weaver nearly doors him into the corner. That's the fight you love to see out of a car. As Devin Jack clear now, as Benson's trying to cross him back over, not quite enough there. Benson Weaver, I believe, did Benson take tires on that last pit stop? Or did he even come down? I think he came down, right?
Yeah, everybody
All
came
right.
down for some right side tires. My apologies there.
No, it's okay. I just felt crazy there for a second. Happens to the best of us. Devin Jack now going to settle in, see if he can run down these leaders, but they're a full 2.5 seconds ahead of him. Braxton DeWise the last couple laps, though, has been very quick. Starting to close that gap back down now to Kyle Terzac. These two just will not let each other go. Last lap, the advantage was 4/10. This lap, it's going to be about 3/10. Braxton DeWise is reeling him in here. But once again, I think, Justin, you were right. Kyle Terzac's just managing that gap.
Well, the main thing is if Braxton's able to get close enough, how aggressive is Braxton going to be? I mean, he knows he's going to have to be aggressive because that guy that he's battling for the championship seems to always be right in front of him.
Yeah, I mean, it's very interesting to think about because we saw the first race of the season. Yeah, Terzac was fast. Braxton seemed to have his number, but since that first race, Terzac's been just that little bit quicker. And Braxton's been playing catch-up the entire time, but right now it kind of seems again like Braxton might be a little bit quicker. We do have a battle on the racetrack right now. We've got Chris French and Dylan Potts side by side right now for the 9th position. These guys have been side by side for a lap or two now. Super interesting battle here going on as Chris French looks like he's going to get the job done into turn 4. Chris French trying to recover after that really weird incident earlier. This is your 3rd place sitter in the championship who definitely wants to be up there on the podium again. Definitely needs to do that if he wants to keep his championship hopes alive.
Yeah, well, right now he's got to bank on a yellow because he is currently a lap down.
Yeah, that's just really unfortunate for Chris French. I guess he probably had to fix a lot of damage after that one. But anyway, Justin, we're single file at the moment. Things are starting to calm down a little bit. How about you run us through our trivia answer?
How about we give a little bit more time to get some of these answers out? I'm still waiting to see them. But while we're talking about that, Jacob Phillips, Robert Danforth, and Jack podium would be great to see. Nonetheless, any podium would be great to see. Dylan Butler saying he's rooting for Robert in that number 5 machine. We got a few more. Oh, and also a good commentary by everyone. Thank you. But nonetheless, final results are in. And if you guessed 1967, you would be correct.
Yeah, I knew that.
That's about your age, right?
Whoa. Maybe Johnny, but dang, man, I'm not. Wow. Oh my gosh, that hurts. And to think, I thought we were buddies. Anyway, back to the racetrack before my feelings get hurt anymore. Look at the 31 here. Oh, look at this battle we've got. Dylan Potts, he's just letting me 11 go there. I have to wonder if that car is feeling all right after that incident on the restart. But Dylan Potts is one of those guys who's never going to give up. He's just going to keep grinding at it. Side by side behind him, Randy Gross and Martin Piccatelli, maybe? Or no, that's the 21 of Ryan Hinkle there. Battling with Randy Gross, lap down. Not with it at the moment, but, trying to recover, trying to salvage what he can, see if he can find a way to get that lap back. I mean, it's about laps. It's about repetition. The only way you're going to get better is by running laps, So, you see a guy like that, and you might wonder, in a series where it's so hard to get your lap back, what's the point? Well, the point is that you're learning. Every corner that you take, every touch of the throttle, touch of the brake, you get a little bit better.
I don't know, man. I've run a lot of laps, and I ain't got no better.
Well, you're a special case, man. Maybe if you put the bottle down every now and then. Kyle Terzac.
A humble brag from Justin Wilson, who's won, 2 or 3 Slingshot Spark Championships. No big deal.
Hey, someone's got to keep him humble, and I guess it's not going to be Johnny Rapp, that's for sure. Kyle Terzac at the front has pulled out his advantage to nearly a second now over Braxton DeWise, and he's just on cruise control at this point. Setting nice, consistent laps, not getting in trouble, just trying to get this thing to the end. He wants to see that green flag soon, as we are very near the end of this race. Only got 18 laps to go. Currently working lap 93, about to be starting lap 94.
And to go back, I do not kiss my mini stock trophy before I go to bed every night.
I'll tell you what, I'm sure it's a glorious trophy and definitely well-deserved. But right now, we got some lap traffic up in front of our leader, Kyle Terzac. This is a whole new situation here. He hasn't had to deal with too much yet tonight. You see, he's going to make that move on the inside of the 62 with Jack DeBruin and make it past him. But we got a battle ahead of him. It's going to be tough to get by both cars if they're fighting for position.
Yeah, and this is what where am I at? This is what Kyle Terzac does not want to see. If he's going to get to the inside of the 33 Martin Piccatelli here, try to get this done as fast as he can before Braxton DeWise can close the gap too much. Side by side now with Randy Gross, who's going to potentially, lifts a little bit, lets him go on the front stretch. Now he sets his sight forward again, trying to see how much of a gap he's got for the next pack. But Braxton DeWise is now coming up on this traffic. Let's see if we can ride on the hood of Braxton DeWise, maybe. See where.
I can assure you that Braxton DeWise did not want to see how fast Kyle Terzac just made it through that lap traffic, because he wants him to be held up a little bit. Yeah, and he's kind of hoping that the lap traffic will slow him down just a little bit so he can catch up. But Kyle, just hit those marks perfectly and got right by him.
Yeah, that like I said, this is the first time this season we've really had to deal with lap traffic. So cool, by the way, to just want to point that out. I love a good long run. We haven't had that a lot this season. What a race so far. This is the kind of driving these guys sign up for. Run a long distance, take care of your tires, see where you shake out at the end. So Braxton DeWise he just keeps losing a little bit more time each time. Lost more time getting through that traffic than Braxton did. Now he's got 11 laps to track him down. It's going to be a tall ask. It's going to be a very tall ask unless we see a yellow here. Further back, battle for your podium as Aiden Neese has worked his way back up to 4th, trying to run down Devin Jack now. Might be running out of laps, but what a recovery drive from Aiden Neese that was. Took one extra pit stop than everybody else to come repair some damage, most likely, to the right side of that race car after all those incidents that he had with the outside wall. But he has recovered very well. Very good drive from Aiden Neese, showing these guys that, my God, he's fast. He's a contender. And, I mean, his lap times are right there with these guys. He's running consistent 19 flats. I think the only guy really consistently faster is Kyle Terzac right now, who's in the 18.8s. But I mean, it's such a cool recovery for Aiden Neese, who has not had a great season so far.
Well, one thing that's helping him out is Devin Jack being in the middle of this hornet's nest, getting by these lap cars. We saw a little bit of a moment there. They were kind of packed up in front of him. It looks like the number 33 is going to move out of the way and let him go, but he still has Ryan Hinkle and Chris French to deal with ahead of him.
Yeah, and if you're Aiden Neese, you're chomping at the bit right now, saying, "Man, maybe I can get this. Maybe I can get this last position, this one last spot." But I think he's going to run out of laps, and more importantly, I don't think the traffic's going to quite play into his hands enough to make that happen. It's been a very good run for Aiden Neese. Like I said, I just can't say enough how good of a drive this has been for him to recover back up here. He was fighting for the lead at one point, went to the back, the very back of the field, and now recovering up to 4th. Super cool as we've got Kyle Terzac working through a little bit more lap traffic. Dylan Potts in front of him there, and Brian Brobes too, parking it in front of Kyle Terzac. Not that it's going to matter too much, I don't think, with the pace differential, but Braxton DeWise is hoping for anything right now. Look at Dylan Potts just driving it in there. Now he's going to get to the inside of Brian Brobes, and this is exactly what Kyle Terzac does not want to see. These guys potentially fighting for a position in front of him. He's going to look to the outside, see if he can clear this lap traffic. Not quite, as we are coming down to the wire here, folks. We're on 3 laps to go right now, as now he's side by side with Dylan Potts. Lets him go. Brian Brobes also going to hold it up that half lane. Lets him, not quite going to let him go. Yep, and he'll get him free into turn 1. That's going to give these two a little battle here. Dylan Potts, Brian Brobes now side by side for the 9th position. Brian Brobes working the top as Kyle Terzac skirts away in front of him here. And coming up right now, Kyle Terzac's about to take the white flag, ladies and gentlemen, in the UNO 110 from New Smyrna for the final time into turn 1. Kyle Terzac with a nearly 3-second advantage. This pace today has just been insane out of Kyle Terzac. Might be his, dare I say, his most dominant win yet. Off of turn 4, Kyle Terzac's going to win the undercut and overheard 110 from New Smyrna. And he's going to extend his championship advantage over Braxton DeWise.
Good win. Good, Rick.
Good one, Terzac. You're just too fast.
What a race from Kyle Terzac here. Man, I'll tell you what, just like you said, absolute dominating performance. Man, I'll tell you what, our defending late model champion is coming back here and 100% serious about defending his title. We're going to watch him burn it down on the front stretch for just a moment. And we're going to step away and hear from our partners at Whiplash SimCams. All these cameras that you see me fumbling through each and every week. Man, I'll tell you what, they're great stuff, and we really appreciate the partnership with them. And yeah, if you need some cameras for yourself, go ahead out and reach out to Whiplash SimCams. We'll be right back on the other end for our top 3 interviews.
back again from New Smyrna Raceway, the UNO 110, Kyle Terzac with a dominating performance. But we're about to bring in your third place finisher, Devin Jack. Devin, you brought it home third tonight. What more do you need to run with the other two?
I don't think there's anything I could have done to catch Terzac, but unless Braxton was really holding off, maybe another 10 laps, and I could have caught up to him. Not sure if I could have got by him, but I definitely could have got to his bumper.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, just it seemed like Kyle was on cruise control tonight, but you had a pretty good race tonight, pretty quiet, pretty clean. What do you think about this track? What do you think about the drive? Tell us about your night overall.
Oh, I like this track. It's kind of unique when it comes to most of the half-mile short tracks. The line most people seem to be running here, or at least with the setup that Robert gave us, is cutting in lower in 3 and 4. I wasn't doing that for a while, but after I figured it out, found a bit more speed. But I'm happy with these kind of quiet, low caution races. It's nice to have a bit of a break from the chaos we sometimes find ourselves in here.
Yeah, certainly. We were talking about that on the break, how nice it was to have a race like that where, you know, the story isn't the cautions. The story is who can take care of their tires, who's running the consistent race. And we talked a lot about how you're one of those guys who just keeps quiet, runs the laps out, takes care of your stuff, doesn't really get involved in a lot of incidents. So talk to us about the mentality of a race like this and how that plays into your hands.
I try to keep things as smooth and, I guess, away from the chaos as I can with stuff like long runs like this kind of play into my hands. I'm a lot happier when we can do 40, 50 some lap runs and not have to worry about constant yellows and restarts, because I'm nowhere near as good with chaos as I am with being able to kind of predict where I want myself in 30 laps. And this series, half the time we don't get to those long runs.
Yeah, certainly a different change of pace for us, but super fun to watch up here in the booth. Well, Devin, who gets it done for you? Who you got back home watching tonight? Shout out whoever you got.
Yeah, as usual. Everybody here at Slingshot, putting this stuff on, keeping this, bringing back the late models for this season. I was excited about that. I was happy to see us pivot from ARCA back to a true short track car, even if it is only for, well, hopefully more than one season.
Well, thank you very much, Devin. Always a pleasure. Appreciate you dropping by, having some time for us. Ladies and gentlemen, that is Devin Jack, your third place finisher in the Undercut and Overheard 110. Thank you, Devin. And Justin, I believe you are getting caught up with our second place finisher, Braxton DeWise.
Yes, if I'm not currently dying, but hey, Braxton DeWise, you got a copy?
I got you.
Hey man, I know one of these days we're going to be talking to you on that first position, but yet again, another second place finish tonight. Definitely had the pace there, but looked like you faded there at the end. Kind of walk me through it.
Yeah. Well, first up, I thought we were getting points for qualifying, and I was trying to get the pole. And there's an invert of 6 cars each week, and I just seen that we're not getting any points for the pole, so I don't want to qualify pole anymore. I've gotten 3 this year, and it's a little frustrating to know I'm not really getting rewarded for that and having to climb from 6th or 5th, which is pretty much what I've started each of these races, have to climb through and not get any points for it. But you just gotta work with it. We were able to. I mean, we're usually able to every week, but every time we get to second or up there, it's just our tires are just fading away. And I know I was talking to Kyle there, and we were saying that the fixed setup might honestly be a little bit better than this. I was running a race on Saturday that's the same combo. It was night, so it should have been a little bit cooler temperatures, in which it should have been a little bit tighter. And man, there was some pretty good rotation, and I'm just like, man, you just got to relearn everything, even though it's the same combo, just going from race to race. But we just need more rotation. It's just the same thing, different week. Need more rotation to be able to do anything. I get up there and I don't have the right front to be able to carry me around, to run a little bit lower or anything to be able to make an attempt to pass. I knew earlier on, after we took right side tires there, that was going to be my opportunity to have a look at Kyle there. Wasn't pushing my stuff too hard, just trying to lead on the right rear and try to see if I could get up there, but it wasn't enough. I definitely need to learn how to lean on the right rear on these tighter setups, and I feel like that'll be the little bit extra that we need to, try to battle Kyle for the wins. 4 races in a row, he's finished first and I finished second. It's killing me in the points, even though we're up there having solid runs and pretty much right there with him. Granted, we finished 3.3 seconds back. I knew after I got 0.6 tenths back from him that it was just pretty much over, and I was just gonna cruise and hope for a caution and try to, hopefully our tires were in a better spot. But it is what it is. We'll just have to try to be better next week.
Yeah, nonetheless. And plus, if I'm not mistaken, and memory serves me, he did say that this was his best track. So maybe from here on out we're good. I mean, we are halfway through the season. We just kind of hit our halfway mark. So this second half, we hit Langley 5 flags. I mean, how are you looking forward to those?
I just hope we can get some rotation. That's all we need. The rest of these races are probably going to be races with tighter setups. I know that there's a gear change. I felt the difference in that from Saturday. My league race on Saturday, we were hitting the chip really early, and here there's a little bit of a gear change. But I just got to practice a little bit more on this combo, weather, setup, situate, all that a little bit more if I want to be able to get in front of Kyle there. So I don't want to say I'm going to be lagging back and qualifying, but I really don't want to qualify the best I can if we're not really getting rewarded for that pole and invert. So we'll still just try to do the best we can, go as fast as we can. That's obviously the goal, and hopefully we can just be one spot better next week.
Yep, understandable, and I think Johnny will talk to the setup guy. But hey, nonetheless, we know you got your list of people that you would like to thank going in tonight. I know that DeWise Renovations is one of them, because that's a beautiful ride you got going on there, but let me turn it over to you.
Yeah, I appreciate it. I know it sounds like I'm complaining and whatnot, and I don't want to come off that way. I personally feel like we could have a lot better battles, not just with me and Kyle, but throughout the field a little bit, if it's in our hands a little bit more. But that's just my opinion. Either way, we're all dealt with the same cards, and we gotta do our best with it. But big shout out to DeWise Renovations. Happy to be able to have them a solid run. We've had a solid run every time we've had them on the car. In this league and Saturday league, so I appreciate my dad and I. It's more for my dad, if anything. So appreciate him, as well as Straight Up Ice Cream Shop, Steak Time, Allen's Arts Images, DeWise Renovations, like I said, Elevated TV, Paid Leave, Wood Nickel Band, Ghost Train, Short Track Report, Scrum Tires Media, Evan Pinetta Designs, Our Pete's House in Winchester, Indiana. And I appreciate you fellas for the broadcast, as always. The Triple J's. It's like a little thing I got going on. This is like 3 weeks in a row now. Justin, you were first last time. We're going to go with Johnny. I don't know if I've done him first, but Johnny, Justin, James. We'll go James A's. You got to save the best for last. How about that? We'll do that next week. How about that? So hopefully I'm talking to you guys next week, just one spot better. But I appreciate you, fellas.
Thank you so
James,
much, Braxton.
James always needs to be last. Just remember that. You heard it from me.
All right.
Make sure you write that down.
He's the newer guy, so we'll give him last. How about that?
There you go.
That's all right. You'll work your way up.
Hopefully Johnny is first here on Wednesday. But hey, man, looking forward to see if you can defend that win from last week there as well in the O'Reilly cars. It's been a hell of a season so far for you in both series. Very exciting.
I appreciate it. We'll try our best. Y'all take care.
There you have it, Johnny. That was your second place finisher, Braxton DeWise. And yeah, we got us a Kyle Terzac we need to talk to.
Yes, sir. I'll be bringing Kyle Terzac in here. Kyle, man, I believe last week you said this was your favorite track, and wow, you certainly showed it tonight. Tell us about that race tonight. Tell us about your season so far. Tell us what we can look forward to.
Tonight was wild, to be honest. kind of messed up my qualifying run right there, so kind of messed up that. But we got to start up front more, started third, and got to the lead there pretty quickly. And then I realized that we had to save some right front because the setup was pretty tight tonight, to say the least. So I had to save some right front, and then I guess Aiden didn't really get the memo there. He was charging entries, and when I was trying to back up, so that was a bit unfortunate. We had that battle right there, and then I realized I kind of had to get a gap, and then I maintained that gap. Had that few quick cautions, and then we had that long run to end out our first stint on those right-sided tires, and took 2 right-side tires, and then I kind of had to save for the first 20-ish of that first run, and then I saw Braxton was catching me, so I maintained the gap, and half a second lead, just maintain that for a while, and then once we got in lap traffic, that's why I started let her eat. So overall, really smooth night. You got to lead early, led all the laps I could, up max points night for the most part. So yeah, go on to, I think it's Langley. Correct me if I'm wrong, and see if we can go get another dub there.
Yeah, so we were talking earlier, first time this season you had to hit lap traffic, longest run we've had in a while. Take us through that. That's a little different for you here.
Yeah, it was honestly pretty fun. It showed that, who could save tire and who couldn't, that run right there. And I felt like that I saved the right front pretty good there. I was 70% on the right front, so at the end with that long green flag run, so that was pretty good. I'm always an open setup guy, so coming here and get the fix under my belt. Run with all these guys. I know Braxton runs fix all the time, so just to see what I compare to these guys is really good, and glad that we can get a tire saving run in right there.
Yeah, it's super cool to watch up here in the booth. Well, Kyle, that's 4 in a row. Pretty impressive. Are we gonna make it 5 in a row next week?
I hope so. If it's Langley, I know that I said New Smyrna is my favorite track, but that's my favorite track. But
you get to pick one. You get one favorite track.
Well, I didn't see Langley. I saw Langley. I was like, oh. So yeah, Langley is pretty fun. Hopefully we get a pretty good setup there. Get to lean on that right rear a little bit more. Because if we get a tight setup at Langley, that's gonna be really difficult for all the guys. So. I put the trust in the admins here. We haven't had one bad setup. It's just, it's just trying to get it, correct is very hard, I should say. So, yeah.
Absolutely. Well, Kyle, who gets it done for you? Run us through that list of sponsors you got.
I want to thank Arkham Sub Shop. Kind of was late to this race tonight because I had to run super strength of field. Got the dub in that, so big thanks to Ryan Cook for the big setup. Cold Border Wraps for transfer. Happy Designs for the real life wraps. Terzac Racing on Facebook. Hot Shot Photography for the best iRacing photos. You guys for putting us on. It kind of sucks that I just realized you guys don't have the context on your side, but it's all on mine, so that kind of sucks. But big shout out to Phillips and everybody who sponsors this league. It's such a great league. If you aren't doing anything on Monday nights, go ahead and sign up because this is a great group of people over here and you learn a lot.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, that is your race winner of the UNO 110, Kyle Terzac. Kyle, thank you for joining us. We look forward to talking to you next week.
Thank you, fellas. I appreciate it.
Well, what a great race it has been. Johnny, what do we got next?
Yeah, so we're first and foremost, we're going to go through our race results here tonight. We just talked to the top 3, Kyle Terzac, Braxton DeWise, and Devin Jack, all familiar podium finishers here this season. Aiden East coming home with that 4th place finish after a rebound from a second pit stop that he took. And Benson Weaver in that number 1 UNO podcast car coming home in the top 5.
Robert Brobes brought it home 6th to 9th with Garrett Lane in 7th. James Danforth brought her home 8th. Last car on your lead lap with Brian Brobst and Dylan Potts rounding out your top 10. Running through the remainder of your finishers here really quick, we've got Markin Piccatelli in the 11th spot, Randy Gross 12th, Chris French after that very unfortunate accident, going to take a hit in the standings here, dropping down, I'm sure, finishes 13th. Ryan Hinkle brings it home 14th, Jack DeBruin 15th, Mason Wilson and Patrick O'Toole round out the field.
An incredible race through and through. And yeah, shout out to everybody that showed up here tonight because they did put on a great race. Nice, clean race. We only had that one caution, and man, that's exactly what you want to see here on Monday nights. But moving on from that, we're going to go into our point standings after the race here tonight. Once again, I'm struggling to find them. I will get there eventually, and here we go. We got man, I'm all over the place. There we go. Yeah, had to get that out of the way, but Kyle Terzac is obviously going to extend his lead over Braxton DeWise. Only 19 points, though, with 4 wins in a row. And, I mean, hey, he's still within a race of getting that points lead back. It's still all up in the air right now between those two. Chris French with a little bit of an unfortunate night here tonight, but he's still in striking distance in 3rd place here, just 24 points behind.
Yeah, really impressive. It just shows how good those first 3 have been. But rounding out the rest of your top 5, we have Devin, Jack, and Aiden Neese rounding out your top 5 in the points. Aiden Neese jumping 5 spots over last week to bring himself up to 5th in the standings. I can't sing his praises enough tonight. What a great drive from Aiden Neese. We'll run through the rest of your top 10 really quick. Garrett Lane, Benson Weaver up a bunch of spots in the number 1 UNO machine. Great ride. Martin Piccatelli in 8th. Dylan Potts also tied for 8th with Robert Brobes rounding out your top 10.
Yep. Yeah, definitely tight points battle all throughout the field here. And yeah, so hey, if you like what you saw tonight, you're going to like what you see next week here when we go to, as soon as it pops up here, Langley. It was spoke about before, but man, a tight little short track. It's going to be a lot of action there on the little track there in Langley. We're off to Five Flags and Stafford, and then following it up with USA Speedway on March 9th.
Yeah, great group of tracks coming up ahead for these guys. Going to be a super fun run to the championship here this series. It's been a great season so far. We just crossed the halfway point. We hope you'll stick with us for the rest of these races, the rest of the season.
Absolutely, and did we already announce the winner of the card pack? Or I mean, I know it's been on the screen. I might have missed that, but yeah, Jeff Wolf N2P, you are the winner of that card pack. Reach out to the email address you see on screen, and we'll get that sent out to you. Definitely appreciate you being out here in the chat. And yeah, so Wednesday night we have the I think we're going to call it the UNO podcast national series now, right? Since you've picked up the sponsorship there too, we appreciate that. But we're going to be heading to Auto Club, one of my favorite tracks. I can't wait to get out there on track. Oh man, then
what a fun racetrack!
Oh yeah, yeah. The second half of the schedule here, man, you just can't go wrong. Auto Club, Coda, Talladega, Rockingham, Bristol, and Chicagoland. Man, it's been a blast with those Xfinity or O'Reilly cars, and I can't wait to get after it this Wednesday.
Absolutely, absolutely. Also want to take a look at our friends at the NSRLA schedule, I believe, right, Johnny? Yep, they are working their way through their season of this past week. Thursday, they were at Richmond on Slingshot TV, and this week, they're taking it to the longest track on the schedule. They are going to Talladega Super Speedway. Sure to be a great race. Talladega always puts on a great one. A little bit of chaos, a little bit of strategy. Going to be must-see Slingshot TV.
absolutely is. And hey, I'll tell you what, with that said, I think that's going to wrap things up here for tonight. And yeah, James, if you want to lead us out here.
Yeah, absolutely. We want to thank everyone in the chat for watching. We are proud to present to you the Undercut and Overheard 110 from New Smyrna is what we actually ran. Logo says 100. We'll fire the graphics guy later. Thank you so much for watching. Check out Undercut and Overheard on Linktree. Great racing podcast to enjoy, and we will see all of you next week. For Johnny, James, and Justin, I am James, and we'll see you guys next time.